Tuesday morning, September 11, 2001, in New York City, the World Trade Center towers were hit by American airplanes hijacked by the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda, killing thousands. After the tragedy, the U.S. government put together a public 9/11 Commission report to better explain to people why this happened. It can be read at libraries, like at the Murphy Library at UW-La Crosse.
Maybe for the first time in my life, that was an instance where a certain set of people chose not to believe what we found from that, not to take that as truth, and chose to subscribe to some other understanding of what happened, what led to those events. And so I think those kinds of things have always happened in history, but maybe the combination of that particular huge, universally experienced event and the fact that the internet was getting started by that point sort of created new opportunities for different understandings to come to light and to sort of for people to find others who feel or believe the same way.
That day, nearly 3,000 people died. Out of those lives, 343 were firefighters. At the La Crosse Fire Department's training tower, that number, 343, is written on the building.
You had 343 firefighters that perished in that incident, and they'll never be forgotten.
Nair says he remembers the tragedy like it was yesterday.
It was definitely heartbreaking to see firefighters rush into those two buildings and try to save people, and you knew when those towers were coming down that they were going to be perished. So it was pretty hard to watch, trying to help people, trying to do the job that they were meant to do. They're making the ultimate sacrifice for that community, that city.
And so does Brian Stein, an EMT with La Crosse Fire.
I was at my parents' house at the time, right after the first plane hit, and then we were watching the television when the second plane came in, and to watch those towers come down, knowing that those firefighters were in there at the time, was just devastating. The reality of it was devastating.
Nair says what sticks with him is the support the firefighters all around the country were shown immediately after 9/11.
The biggest thing that I remember from that incident is just walking in the Oktoberfest parade and the support that the community was giving the fire department. That was really touching. I mean, I know there was firefighters that actually had tears in their eyes when they were walking in that parade, just from the support of the community.
Stein says as a firefighter and speaking on behalf of all of America's first responders, they are here to help.
I think that's the one thing that 9/11 really brought home, was that we all realize we have a dangerous job, and we try to do it as safely as we can, but at the end, the reality is we're willing to lay down our lives for trying to save other people. And I think everybody knows that, but 9/11 is what really absolutely brings it home.
And lastly, Nair and Stein would appreciate if people
just take the time to remember.
In La Crosse, Lindsey Ford, WXOW News 19.